like he has never drunken before in his life. It's like it's the first time he's ever seen water. Augie, today he's gonna get his haircut. The mobile groomers come in, so we're gonna see how that's gonna work out. Augie, are you still gonna be fluffy? Augie. Augie. Are you pretty, dog? Are you pretty, boy? On our way to Home Depot, and then we're going to get a piano hinge for that door and some hardware to lock it, and then that'll be done. And then I also need some electrical things that go on that 12-volt switch. And so for that, we're going to AutoZone. We're on our way there now. We just went to Home Depot, which today is Easter, and I must say it was not. Lowe's was closed today, so when Lowe's is closed, then Home Depot obviously is twice as busy, which is a lot of fun. And now I'm on my way to AutoZone to pick out those little things that go on my switch. These electrical things that go on these little pins. So hopefully they have that there. They should. And then that'll be another thing that's gonna be done. And then we're moving on. So, but yeah, it's still have a lot of work in front of me. Still have a lot of work to do. Going the plumbing, and then I gotta get that cap insulated with that Havelock wool that we have, and then I gotta do that before they're gonna do the upholstery, because that makes a lot of dust. It's like fine, I don't know how to describe it, but it's dirty when you do that insulation. So afterwards we're gonna have to vacuum the whole van out again. But once it's done, it's done. I recommend everybody insulate very well, because once it's done, you only have to do it once, and when it's done, it's done, and you have a good, well insulated van that will give you a lot of pleasure going to colder areas. Casey and I want to go to Canada. We want to go to the Rocky Mountains, go out west skiing in the winter. So for that, we really needed a van that was well insulated. And here we are, AutoZone. Let's go in and see if they have what I'm looking for. All right, so we just got out of AutoZone, and I finally got everything I need. So now let's go back home and continue working on the van. Hey Lily, what have you been eating?
A ring pop.
Show me your tongue. Morning, today is van building day, and we are going to insulate the cap today. We're gonna take off the B-pillars, and then we're gonna insulate everything above the cap with Reflectix and Havelock wool, and then that'll be another thing that is done. Let me show you. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take off the B-pillar completely, and then we're gonna install the other one that we bought from Mercedes-Benz without that curl in there. So we have a straight one, because it'll be a lot easier to mount our walls to. And then we're gonna take this liner down just a little bit, just enough to where we can slide in our Reflectix, and then insulate with Havelock wool above it. And then while we have everything off, we're also gonna install our guards to put up our headliner shelf, then to be able to make the cabinet above our heads. It's very hot in Florida. We have our fan going. We installed it with, or we hooked it up just quickly on a Battleborn battery right there. So stay tuned. We're gonna document pretty much this whole thing, and then we'll get back to you in a little bit. Okay, so now we're gonna take the B-pillars off on both sides, and then we're gonna take this seat out, since next week we have to take it to the upholsterer anyways, to get it all upholstered, same as Lily's couch seat. And the door panels will all be reupholstered in the same leather. So we're gonna take that off, and for that you need those Torx bits, and then these come out very easily. My DC to DC charger arrived today. Thank you, Victron. It's pretty awesome because this will allow our house batteries to charge off the alternator from the car without overcharging it or without putting too much of a load on the alternator, because it only goes up to a maximum of 30 amps, which our alternator is warranted up to 40 amps. So that's really good. And let's see where we are today. So today, I apologize for the lighting, but we just have a great thunderstorm here in Florida. We took out the front seat, the passenger seat, and basically all of the matting here in the front of our Sprinter, as you can see. So basically what I did was I started insulating the cap. So that's now all put back together. We put a bunch of Havelock wool under there, or up there. And then I also ordered these things from a company named Vanlife. And that's going to be our headliner shelf. And then there's another one going here, which we're going to poke through. I hope you can see this, poke through the headliner. But that's for later. First, what we're going to do, as you can see, the battery is exposed right now. We're gonna take off all of this white stuff so we can run a cable from the battery through here to there to our DC to DC charger, which is going to be mounted under this seat, because our diesel heater is going to go under Lily's seat, because that's a loss of space anyways, and you know, in our previous van that was used for nothing basically. So we're going to put the diesel heater under there so it can blow into the compartment, and also that's located very close to the diesel tank, so that's a good place to mount our diesel heater. So this box is basically going to be empty, so we're going to use that for our DC to DC charger, and then the cable is going to come out right there, going to run through the B-pillar all the way to the back of the van. So that's basically the plan. That's basically what we're going for here. It's actually pretty easy. You take off these things, and then on the driver's side you take it off as well with 2 Torx screws. That unbolts, and then basically you can take out all of the matting right here. You just have to be careful by the handbrake that you slide it out the right way. Now we're going to take off that white stuff, and then so we can run our cables nice and underneath so they're not exposed or anything like that. And then I'll come back to you guys once we have the cables run, and then we can go from there by hooking up the DC to DC charger here in this box. So this is really easy, guys. Once you have this off, you have all these black little thingies there, and if you click one off and then you go under your hand, you can click every single one of them off. You have to take off this plate as well. But once you have this off, as you can see, we ran our positive cable through here, and it comes out over here. It goes underneath that pedestal, and the same with our black, our negative battery cable goes from there, from here, all the way back through this, and then into the pedestal of the seat. So that way all your cables are hidden, and also nobody can step on them, which is a good thing, or they can't get squished in between anything. So now we're gonna install our DC to DC charger in here, and then it's going to be time to wrap that up. And then when we are done with the electrical compartment in the back, then I will hook up the second set of cables into the output of the DC to DC charger. Alright guys, so let me show you the finished product. So I put it on the back of the pedestal, and both the battery cables for the input are already connected. The output ones we're gonna wait, and also the switch, which I have here, we're gonna wait to connect that one until the battery bank is installed. I'm gonna run my cables, of course, they're here in this box. I'm gonna run the cables, and then you know, at the end of the road you can connect everything through this hatch, take it off, and you can get in here and work on this if you need to. So today was another day that we continued on the van. I didn't film too much. I wanted to get some things done. So I'll show you guys what I have done so far. So we got these corner guards, and they're amazing. They're also very sturdy, so we put those on there. And then we put, so this is the rest of it basically. And then this is going to be, this is another corner guard, and then basically here we're gonna have our rope light. I still need to adjust it over there. So we're gonna have our rope light, and then it's gonna turn right there and come back all the way here. And the thing is, you're not gonna see that because the platform's going right on top of that. So you're not even gonna see that. And then we continued on the plumbing. And this is basically our pressure valve. If it builds up too much pressure, then it will go under there, underneath the van. So let me show you how that is underneath. So I still have to cut that off, but that's where it comes out. I put some mesh on the end of it, like a clamp, just to make sure that no critters or anything can get in it. So basically tomorrow what we're gonna do is we're gonna continue further on the plumbing, and I have to look at my water tanks, you know, and my water inlets. I bought this, which is city water inlets for the water tanks, and we're gonna put those on the side of the van. So these water inlets, we're gonna put them right here, right there, and then another one right next to it. They're pretty good. And then on the other side of the van, right above our main water tank, we will have a gravity fill as well. So we're gonna have a 28-gallon water tank on the passenger side of the Sprinter, and we're gonna have a 20-gallon water tank on the driver's side of the Sprinter, and we're gonna have another 5-gallon black water tank underneath. We already have a 10-gallon black water tank in the van, so that's gonna make for 15 gallons of black water, and then the rest will be and then we have a 25-gallon gray water tank too, with an automatic valve. And then that makes it easy. If you have that valve, all you need to do is press one button, and then it makes it easy to dump it whenever you're somewhere on a grass field, or you're somewhere, let's say on a gravel parking lot or something like that, and you can easily dump it where the water can go in the ground. So that makes it easier for us, and of course our black water tank will only be able to dump that in a sewer. So that's going to be a manual valve with a hose that we need to attach to it. But overall, I mean, little by little we're getting there. This is already one of the finishing touches, which I'm very stoked about. It looks pretty awesome, and it's easy to clean. And that was for us. This whole garage will be so easy to clean when you take some gear with you, where you go hiking or snowboarding, or you know, water sports or whatnot. You could just throw it all in there, And then when you're done, you can wipe it all out. If you have any dirt or whatnot in there, you could just wipe it all out, and it'll keep clean. And it's also durable, so it won't scratch or anything. So that makes it pretty awesome. So tomorrow we're gonna look into installing the water inlets. I'm also gonna install the water pump right there, and that it's like an accumulator for the pump. So we're gonna install that, and then I'm gonna start looking to install my water tank on the right hand side of the Sprinter. You can also see my seat is out over there. It's going to the upholstery shop on Monday, and then everything will be upholstered the same. The seats in the front, then the couch behind the driver's seat, then basically the liner above where the cabinet is going to be, above the cabin, and then all the panels over there on the door and the upper panel, those are all going to be done in the same upholstery. That's going to make it pretty nice. So overall, we're making progress. I can't wait to hit the road again with this thing. Once it's ready, it's going to be an awesome van. I already can tell with everything we're putting in here, it's going to be so awesome. I got my solar panels in last week, and they're flexible panels, and we're going to have close to 750 watts of solar on the roof, and then we're going to have an 800 amp hour battery bank, so 8 battle-born batteries, and then we are going to have a 5,000 watt inverter. So we're going to have an amazing amount of power on this in this van. We're going to be able to power everything we want. We're going to have, ample opportunities, and we're going to be able to charge it. That's why the seat was off in the front to start with, because I installed a DC to DC charger. So whenever the car is on, it's going to charge from the batteries to the house battery. So when the car battery is fully charged, that DC to DC charger will start charging the house batteries off of the alternator of the car. And then of course, when we're driving and it's sunshine, which in Florida, it's called the Sunshine State for a reason. This is going to be very awesome that we're gonna be able to use that as an additional source of power or charging power. And then of course, whenever we go to a campground, we'll be able to plug in, and then we have that plug on the side of the van and our power inlet, and then that will be awesome for if we're a night in a campground. We're going to have a full charge on the way in the morning, and we're going to be able to run our AC constantly as well. So I'm looking so forward to using all these systems that we put in this van. It's going to be an awesome thing to travel with. So this concludes our van build episode for this week. I'll see you all next Sunday.